The Minnesota Lynx total win line was set at 17.5 in 2024. They blew this out of the water, amassing 30 wins. They were at their over-under line before the All-Star break, in mid-July, and played Game 5 of the WNBA Finals more than 3 months later. They've demanded the attention of the basketball world, and they just might be our 2025 WNBA champions.
You know, what do we have to do before you guys really start to believe in us? And we don't really care what you think, except for right now, right? Where we get to say to you, you know, you got to talk about us. Now you got to say, okay, we just beat a super team. You know how hard that is to do? Because you guys love your super teams, man. You love your super teams. That's all you want to talk about, your super teams, right? But we just beat a super team. Let's talk about it.
This was after they won the Commissioner's Cup against the New York Liberty, and was a common theme throughout the Lynx press conferences last season. Sick and tired of not getting coverage. Side note, Bridget Carlton should have been Commissioner's Cup MVP, and it was absolutely sacrilegious that no one asked her a question in this presser. But viewer, just know my arm was firmly raised up on Zoom. And I absolutely don't hate to do this, so I'm going to take a bit of a victory lap here, as the Minnesota Lynx were hiding in plain sight. Their development as a unit extends back to when Sylvia Fowles was still on the roster, and the likes of Bridget Carlton, Nafisa Collier, and Kayla McBride have established a core that can attract the likes of Alana Smith, Courtney Williams, and Natisha Heidemann. What's better is that these players have bought into the system from day dot and are happy to play subsidiary roles, even though they're all capable of leading a team in scoring on any given night. And what's even better than that is that Collier and McBride are still the fulcrum of the offense and the team's identity. 2 long stays that have become part of the furniture, with Collier being drafted by the Lynx. So can they win it all this season? Yes. Do I think they're going to win it all? This goes against everything I've learned in making these videos, but I'll tell you, yes. The Aces are short-handed again, with major addition Cheyenne Parker-Tyers set to miss the season due to her pregnancy. Otherwise, they still haven't addressed their depth issue on the wings, and with Alicia Clark leaving, that issue is compounded. The addition of Jewel Lloyd and the departure of Kelsey Plum boosts their bucket-getting prospects at the cost of playmaking, so happy to chalk this up as a lateral move. As for the New York Liberty, they're bringing in a similar team this season to last. Maureen Johannes being back in the fold is exciting, and Sandy Brondello is a changed coach from the last time she had Johannes. Brondello trusts her backups more, with Leonie Fiebich and Nyara Sabali playing empowered through the playoffs last year, with the trust of their coach. Natasha Cloud is a great addition for the Liberty, as she brings an edge, competitiveness, and defensive grit that no one in the backcourt possesses. I think she'll be a difference maker, and this was a very underrated move by the Liberty, but let me take you through why I still give the Lynx the edge. First is the human nature side of things. They know the mountain they need to climb. They know who the Liberty are, and frankly, they got a really unfair whistle in the finals. Like a series-altering whistle. That changed a few New York losses into New York wins. I won't go through all of them, but this is egregious. First, you miss the Stewie travel, then call a non-existent foul, then mini challenge, so the refs have a chance to correct their error. Then, they don't overturn it, when it clearly isn't a foul, gifting Stewie 2 non-deserving free throws, with the margin at 2 points, with 5 seconds remaining in Game 5. As if this Lynx team needed more motivation, they were afforded it in the finals last year. And although the Liberty might have more talent, the Lynx had better coaching and were better as a unit. I mean, this is what it took to beat them. Let's start with what Minnie does best, the defensive end. On this play, Alana Smith bites and Hamby reacts with a back cut to perfection, but the Lynx are on such a string. Carlton reacts in real time and Dorka Juhas comes to take away the middle, and Williams is already pinching in. This structure is amazing, and it's snuffed out on the pass, but if Hamby were to catch this pass, her only option would be to kick out to a 30% three-point shooter. That's mastery. Off to the races as well. Here, the bigs are stretched out and Tarossi runs a great 2-player game with Copper. Carlton switches onto the ball, and as soon as the fault in the pick and roll is identifiable, Tarossi is going to find it. But Smith has already shifted over, picking up Copper. Collier is already shifting over to the middle, and McBride is pinching in to take away the key, and this results in a block on a jump shot. Again, off to the races. Here on the 3-player action, Heidemann and McBride switch without breaking stride, and the Storm have no advantage on the screener with Lloyd. Then Heidemann evades past the Aguimike screen and stays on Lloyd's hip, taking away the pass of Aguimike and ushering Lloyd into the help defender. Collier and Carlton pinch in as soon as they see Lloyd make the decision on the layup, and Smith makes the swat look easy, finishing the defensive play for her team. This play is just an absolute nightmare. Like, what more do you need to do? There are no switches on this play. It's an embodiment of something you might have already noticed, but everyone defends with so much confidence in the rest of the team knowing their assignment. Let's slow it down. Cloud passes to Tarossi in a horns alignment, who then makes something of an Iverson cut with the ball. Smith contains her while Heidemann is tagging Griner, and the two of them are affording McBride the ability to recover. Then Beck Allen stunts toward Tarossi, making Collier commit to the perimeter. Then a quick reversal of the crowd and into Griner would suggest perfection on the offensive end against a great defensive team. But who's there to block Griner? Not Smith, who helped and recovered to perfection, but Collier, who was just on the perimeter. And you're telling me this team is going to have more chemistry this season? Let's go to an easy one. Even here, the Lynx are just one step ahead of you, with compliments to McBride especially. As soon as the play is called and identified, McBride sits on Atkins' high side and bumps her. She interrupts the initial pass, and in this half-court set, we have two Lynx defenders up above the hash mark. I mean, can you tell what's going to happen? Then just clean rips the ball from Atkins, a US gold medalist. Also, all of that happened between 21 and 18 seconds on the shot clock. Again, I've never thought of Heidemann as a great defender, but look at how she can pressure the ball knowing the rest of the team is giving their opponent strife. This is hounding to perfection, interrupts the pass as soon as it's made, and off to the races with an and one. I mean, why would you ISO against this team? You're just allowing an off-ball defender to make a play. Off to the races again. And here, pressure on the ball always above the three-point line, leaving the key open, which the Fever identify, but as soon as it's in there, the Lynx activate their trap card, overwhelm the big, and nudge it out of her possession. Look at Collier, man. She's anchoring the defense from the point of attack. Has eyes in the back of her head, anticipating the pass and cut. Also, as soon as Thomas decides to pass, Zandalcini is crashing in from the corner. Oh, and again, off to the races. When they aren't off to the races, it's more of that synergy on the offensive end, working as a unit. We picked this play up after Collier has set the pick for Williams. As soon as Boston tags Collier, Smith and Carlton are on a string, and look at how much space they've created. Then the pass to Smith puts Hull in no woman's land, and that's a wide open look for Bridget Carlton. Here, an inbound play down 3 points in a playoff game. Brush screen from Smith to start, then screen the screener to afford Smith a bit of space to catch this ambitious pass, and all of a sudden we're in a low post split. The D has to make a decision on a McBride-Collier screen, and this play eventuates in a wide open Collier layup being shot after just 3 seconds of game clock. Here Thornton does a great job of denying Collier, and Williams kicks it back to the top. Carlton does the team thing and moves the ball quickly, and just like that, we're on the other side of the court running a different play with the same alignment. New York defends all the action on this play so well, and there's still an open layup on the second side. Then there's stuff like this, running strong for Miller, which is just a decoy action for a quick hitter. An elevator screen in 2024, Cheryl Reeve, you cheeky bugger. Another quick hitter, and again using a double down screen as a decoy to occupy the defense. Give and go for Heidemann on the UCLA cut, and she made this a bit of a signature for herself. Here she is running it with Smith. And on this goofy, messy, overloaded play, the offense is kind of left to the player's instincts, and there's so much movement. They almost understand it's going to be a messy play and make the most of it. Beck Allen of all people falls asleep, and Williams makes the heads up play to cut behind her. The Lynx have been on this trajectory for the past few seasons. So much of their success last season was predicated on chemistry, and now they have 2 training camps, 1 season, and the deepest possible playoff run under their belts. They're the beneficiaries of continuity, which is worth so much more this season when the rest of the league seems to be making major moves that will take some adjusting. The core is very young and still getting better, so natural progression will continue to take its course. They're set to hit the ground running in 2025, and continue to look strong as a unit on both ends. There might be nothing cute about it. It might just be time for the Minnesota Lynx to win a WNBA championship.